Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me.
The 1990 film Troll 2 has certainly seen not only an upsurgence over the past several years, but also keeps receiving more and more good news as time goes by. The highly acclaimed Troll 2 documentary, Best Worst Movie, has been picked up for distribution, and director Claudio Fragasso himself has even announced plans for a Troll 2 sequel titled, What Else? Troll 2 Part 2. Who knows if this movie will actually happen, but one has to admit, that is a funny title. I mean, he can't very well call it Troll 3, can he? Because after all, there already is a Troll 3. Kinda. Sort of like how Troll 2 is a sequel to Troll. You know, kinda. It's pretty common to knock Troll 2 for not actually having trolls in it, but it did have goblins, the first cousin to the troll, so as far as illegitimate sequels go, it's close enough. But do you know what Troll 3 has in it? I'll tell you what it has. It isn't trolls, it isn't goblins, it isn't even fairies, elves, midgets, or gnomes. I'll give you one guess. Time's up. It's fucking trees! That's right, killer trees. This movie is about trolls as much as Zombie 5 was about zombies, or fucking birds. Though to be fair, the most common box art for the movie uses the title The Crawlers instead of Troll 3. Even my copy of the film doesn't even have Troll as its title, which, thinking about it, is appropriate. My copy of the movie is titled Creepers in its gooey green alternate title font that is different from the rest of the fonts in the credits. Other titles go by Contamination Point 7 and Troll 3. Go figure, this unofficial Troll sequel is co-directed by Fabrizio Laurenti. You know, the director of Evil Dead 4. But do you want to know the oddest thing about this movie? I kinda get why it's sometimes called Troll 3. Honestly, if I didn't know that was an alternate title, I still would have been thinking about Troll 2 throughout this entire movie. Both films are produced by the company Film Mirage, which was owned by exploitation king Joe D'Amato. This was also the company behind Zombie 6 and Ator the Invincible, and about every other movie D'Amato had his name attached to between 1980 and 1994. Both movies also have that weird aroma to them where they look very American. They're clearly shot in the Pacific United States with actors who probably live in the tiny-ass town they're filmed in, and they all speak English. Seriously, they try to make this movie look so American that I swear fucking Charlie Daniels gets killed at one point. But at the same time, with all of that said, it still feels like a foreign movie. And of course, like Troll 2, it has a completely Italian crew, who probably don't speak a word of English, and again are making the amateur actors recite the script line by line.
Some kind of measurement. Some G degrees. You don't know what that means?
I know what it means. It measures nuclear radioactivity.
You're damn right, kid.
Just a guess. Also, Laura Gemser, star of the Black Emanuel series, is credited with costume design on this movie too. Which is ironic, they have someone designing the costumes who made a career out of wearing absolutely nothing. When Troll 3 begins, we meet two young girls traveling by bus to the set of The Hills Have Eyes? Okay. At the same time, we're following a truck carrying yellow barrels of what I assume is nothing but bad news. In movies, nothing good travels in open barrels. Honestly, I think I know where this truck is going.
Until he had a horrifying accident and fell into a vat of nuclear waste.
And was it common in the 80s and early 90s to transport open barrels of liquid via truck? I know they sealed them in Men at Work, but that's just because they were carrying the brothers Sheen. We get to meet some of the locals around this non-town while we wait for the killer plants to start growing.
Well, his name is Chester, but I call him Wolfie.
What? Then why isn't that his fucking name? A pet's name is supposed to be a fucking nickname. You don't say, oh, here's my cat Frank, but I like to call him Whiskers. The main character in the movie is Josie, who is in town to visit her family and give them awesome 1990 toys. Ooh, foreshadowing! He's gonna play Super Mario Brothers later. Still, that toy looks more like a real plant than this plant does. I think if they move any further to the left, they'll disturb Bruno Mattei filming Hell of the Living Dead. Josie also rekindles her relationship with a former flame.
You look the same. You still got that tooth.
Yes, just like I always say, when you want to score points with a girl, just remind her of her bad teeth. Hell, call her a bitch while you're at it.
I can't believe you're still into that shit.
Still as bitchy as you were at 16, huh?
See? You are on your way to getting laid big time, my friend. After fooling around in the woods while the trees watch, the two stumble upon the body of the girl from the beginning of the movie. Not that it matters, because there's a sheriff in the movie who is every annoying, skeptical, redneck movie sheriff combined into one fat piece of cardboard.
We already told you everything, Sheriff.
Yeah, look, why don't we just go there, okay?
There's no hurry. If you really saw a corpse, it's not going anywhere. It won't run away.
How do these fucking nitwit sheriffs keep getting elected? I'm afraid if someone told them that they won the election, they wouldn't believe them. Seriously, this sheriff actually says, "ah," in this movie.
We're not in high school anymore, Sheriff.
Maybe you ought to be. Ah,
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 ah.
ah.
I believe this guy is a sheriff about as much as I believe this is a real cell door. It's up to Josie and Lunk to find out the truth themselves.
Did a girl come by here? Young, blonde hair, real short shorts?
Oh yeah, I can see why he remembered her. You know, with her flowing blonde hair. As it turns out, an evil company is responsible for dumping hordes of toxic chemicals into the woods, causing the trees to grow killer roots that strangle people to death. At first, we really just see moving point of view shots from the roots, which makes perfect sense when in the next shot, the roots aren't moving. The man in charge of the dump is an actor, and I use the term lightly, I'm sure was just the movie's accountant that they put in front of the camera at the last minute. This guy looks like Elisha Cook crossed with Joe Lieberman, and he's about as emotional as an actor as $5 could buy.
He's an investigative reporter for some big city newspaper.
Oh, Christ.
Good lord, if this guy had any more personality, he'd only look mildly bored.
Now
I'm sorry, Dr. Taylor, but I've other things to do now. I would appreciate if in the future you would limit your concerns to what's going on inside the power plant instead of snooping around. Is that understood?
Yes, sir, but
You may go now.
And when he does try to show some range, it just comes across as scary, like when he attempts the most awkward, evil laugh I've ever seen on film.
You want me to cooperate?
Drop dead. Thanks. The movie really starts to feel Italian when Gabriel Tinti turns up on screen. And it's one of the only times I've seen him not dubbed in a movie, and I think I know why.
But her body is soaked with radioactivity, as if she swam in a pool of uranium.
He seems to not know a word of English. What, the local barber was too busy to take a role in the film? The town gets a little help from the woodsman in black here, and a nerdy guy who makes Peter Scolari look like Brian Bosworth, but mainly we're following around the plant drunk who just gets thrown in jail because, of course, he reported a crime and the fucking sheriff didn't believe him.
Take a seat, Dr. Taylor. You've been working too hard.
Why would anyone even attempt to report anything to this sheriff? This sheriff seems to be the reason why vigilante justice was invented. This fucking guy was only created so he could die a horrible, horrible death. Halfway through the movie, I wish they would just get help from the camera crew. I mean, look, they're right there in the fucking reflection. Sure, go ahead and close the door, in case we didn't get a good look at them the first time around. And look at this! You can see the shadow of the helicopter! Oh, the characters are actually in the helicopter. Sorry, I get a little ahead of myself on the trashing sometimes. The drunk breaks out of prison by torturing coyly. No springs indeed, my friend. Lucky for him, he gets out of prison just in time to witness every other person in the movie get killed off by the killer trees. And even characters who we've never seen before. Everyone in this fucking movie gets tree hugged. Oh man, these people need to be arrested for some serious treason. I'm sorry for that one. It's weird watching these limbs move. They look like turds being slowly squeezed out of the Earth's asshole. And the way they strangle people, they just seem like snakes. That's really all these trees do. They mostly strangle people. Again and again and again. Or they plug up a tailpipe like they're Axel Foley. If you squint your eyes, this is just a killer snake movie, only they're all made of wood. If they really wanted to make an illegitimate sequel, really the most appropriate title is sequel. The climax comes when bulldozers surround the trees, completely taking out all the local plant life, while the crowd cheers them on. Wait a minute. This ending is like a reverse Avatar. Fuck you, Tree of Life. I don't care about your unobtainium. I just want to destroy your fucking trees, that's right. And seeing how the dialogue went so swimmingly throughout the rest of the film, when everything is all safe and settled, it just has to end with an awkward conversation.
I didn't know you were married.
Yeah. What? Is that so funny? Not at all.
What the hell was that? Yeah, we know you saved us and everything, but come on. Fucking nerd, we know you're a virgin. Seriously, is there an alternate version of the script where they just call his mother a whore? Well, I've already extended my look back at the Troll series as long as I could possibly go. I've searched and searched and searched and have never found a Troll 4. So as far as the Troll movies go, I am completely done here. And I don't think I'm jinxing myself at all. Not in the least. So if you ever come across a troll, a goblin, or a plant, be on the lookout because that could possibly mean that Film Mirage is back in business. Good night, everyone.
Dear Cinema Snob, I regret to inform you there is another movie under the Troll 3 title called Quest for the Mighty Sword. Ha ha ha.
Sincerely, J. Matthews at Mondo.com. God damn it!
Ain't I a stinker?
The fuck are you talking to?
Oh, no one.
Damn, nosy jerk.